me in, dude.
You have to take care of Gabe. I know.
Hey, sweet Maya.
Well, Con's watching Gabe.
What's up?
Chicken maintenance day.
Con's
Or chicken
watching
coop
Gabe.
maintenance day.
Who's on that nest? What?
Chicken mama got up and she sat down.
Really?
And then Gray Hen went back.
That's
So
crazy.
I'm really gonna try and get the.
That's not the chicken that was broody.
I'm gonna try and get the.
Was she broody now?
Glass
We
right.
have to board it.
So the glass broke, like
Oh.
once and for all?
Yeah, well, this one cracked, and then something literally shattered this, like went through it. So I think it was one of our children that threw a
No,
rock.
it wasn't.
And Toby says that immediately, which makes me feel like something happened that everyone's keeping on the down. You know, one of those stories that'll come out when they're married. And like, remember that time that the window shattered and we were like adamant? No, we didn't. Yeah, it was totally us.
Hey, y'all ready to go to the store? Okay, come on, let's go.
I will play with.
Y'all, look at that filthy little floof. Gabriel, what are you doing? You messy boy. You need a bath. He's had to have a bath like every day since he's been here. He's still on the other side of the fence from Con. I think Con's getting used to him. Bear's great with him, but I've just been nervous that Con could accidentally hurt him. Con plays kind of rough.
Oh, Con smelled it.
Did you share the smell of that flower with Con?
Yeah.
You think he liked it?
Yeah.
It smells good, huh?
Yeah.
We've got to go to the store and get some bagged soil for a project I'm doing later. I'm gonna take the two little boys with me so that Maya can actually get some work done. You wanna see if there's any roses here? I think I see some over here. Right here, look. Those are roses. You like those? Those are beautiful. I don't need to buy those. I have tons of those started in my greenhouse.
You have to smell your greenhouse.
Ooh, look at this beautiful variegated sweet potato vine. That's neat. Might be cool for
Sweet potatoes?
our little planter in front of the garden gate.
I like sweet potatoes in my garden.
What are you doing, silly? Did you find some pretty plants? Ooh, look at these. Caladiums. Beautiful. Those are pretty.
Axes.
Hey guys. We're not getting an axe. Y'all don't need an axe. Here, I want to look. What do you think? That's beautiful, huh? Guys, this little chick keeps looking at me. I think we're bonding. I think we just became best friends. This is where you learn what you're made of as far as self-control goes. Oh, Ben saw this massive wind chime and said Dad should build a giant greenhouse so that could fit on it. I agree, Ben, I agree. It's the next day. We finished up our shopping at the feed store yesterday. I did not buy any chicks because I was being good. And now I've got a little bit of time before it starts raining, and I am actually going to finish planting my tomatoes. These are the leftovers of the plants that I have. I'm going through and picking out which tomatoes I'm going to plant. But first things first, I actually have to plant my competition plants for the tomato grow off. I actually talked with Gary yesterday from the Rusted Garden about the competition because I realized that he and Kim were both sowing from seed right now. And essentially what we had talked about was 100 days from the seed sown to when we were going to do the weigh-in and measurement and decide who had won. The issue that I ran into is that if I were to sow my tomatoes from seeds right now at the end of April, I probably wouldn't get much of anything from those plants because it gets so hot here and humid. And so how I have to grow tomatoes in Arkansas is I have to start them from seed by like March-ish so that I can put the transplants in the ground right now, and we really hit our peak tomato harvest at like the end of June and July. I think I harvested my biggest tomato last year on July 4th. I did a vlog about it. So we talked to accommodate for that, because if I sow from seed right now, by the time those tomato plants are large enough to start setting blossoms, the blossoms will fall off because it'll probably be 100, 105 degrees with 100% humidity. And at very best, I might get some fruit off of them if they are able to hang on to some of their blossoms. And at worst, they'll just die from fungus and blight. Usually I don't have tomato plants by August. So I am starting with my transplant, and I am starting my days from when I started these seeds, which was at the end of February. And Gary said that we can look at that and figure it out, because obviously we're doing this for fun. It's a fun competition. So I'm putting transplants in the ground, and so I'm gonna be a little ahead of them, so they'll know what they're up against as their plants start setting fruit. I'll probably be picking fruit off of mine. Hey, are we gonna win? He's over here back in this in his hand. Hey, say we're coming for you, Gary and Kim.
We're coming for you, Gary and Kim.
And I have to tell y'all that it is just massively honoring to me to get to play along in this with Callie, Kim, and Gary from the Rustic Garden, because just in the gardening community, they are people that I have really looked up to and enjoyed. So I definitely am excited to be participating in the tomato grow off. Let's get my plants in the ground. So I've got my 2 plants that I am participating with here. The rule was that if we were going to use transplants, they had to be transplants that we started ourselves from seeds. So I started these from seeds about 50 some odd days ago, 55 days ago or so. I'm gonna look at the calendar to make sure. I've got my red beefsteak here, closest to me, and I've got my climbing triple crop. Now the climbing triple crop is a plant that gets really big, and as you can see, this one is not super happy about being in these pots. You can kind of see some discoloration on the leaves. I'm not worried about it. As soon as I get this in the ground, it's gonna really perk up. Somebody is singing the song of their people over there in the chicken coop. Hens are so funny. When they lay a good egg, they gotta tell everybody about it. Now I wanna put these plants where they're kind of gonna be in an easy place for us to check on. Let's go right here on the end of this trellis. I don't like how low my soil is here, so I'm gonna go grab a little bit more compost to put on top of this bed. Hey, you wanna help me, farm boy? Come on, let's go get some soil. You wanna show our friends? Oh, look, our roses smell lovely, huh? Like, do you see how low the soil is? That's what I was doing. Thank you for helping me. I was gonna do it myself.
Hey, Mom.
I don't mind helping you out.
Do you need more? Because it's a long bed.
Yeah.
Besides, now you get to see my muscles flex.
Oh my gosh.
Ready?
Don't dump it on that pepper.
I won't. You're supposed to be looking at my muscles. And the peppers. Really? The peppers again?
You want to shovel it in, Ben?
Put the dirt in the bed.
Wait.
Ben's...
It's a long bed, so I need to just do this now.
Okay. Maya's mom gave Ben this little shovel when she was still with us. And so it's his special Grandma Jana shovel, and he uses it every time that we have a job. He goes and gets his special shovel. Isn't that right, Ben?
Dig.
To dig, that's right.
With my mom and dad.
With your mom and dad.
Soil.
Good working, dude. I'm sitting here like I've planted already 100 tomato plants. Like, no stress on it whatsoever. But these 2, I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta get this right.
Don't worry about it. Listen, we'll just put 2 little tombstones right next to there, one with Kim on it, because they've already lost.
Everything that I lack in trash talk, Jeremiah actually like. He's so stinking competitive, and I'm not at all.
Video too.
Huh?
We're all gonna be wearing black suits and.
He's so tacky. He's so tacky. I did a video the other day talking about how to plant tomatoes, and that's how I'm gonna do it, is that normal way. But I wanted to show you guys, I saw a couple things on this plant, and I wanted to show y'all something whenever I am planting. Do you see these little dudes coming up in the armpits? These are called suckers, and these offshoots will actually create other branches that set flowers and produce fruit. And so you would think, well, why would you want to pull those off? I have shared this before, but we have a ton of humidity here, and disease in tomato plants, blight specifically, is something that is just a big thing that we contend with in the garden in Arkansas. So I pull suckers off. We let one main stalk grow, sometimes a second one. If it gets away from us, then I'll go ahead and let a second grow, but I do not allow plants to just bush out and grow a ton of branches, because then there's no airflow and they're a lot more likely to get sick. Another thing, this particular plant, this beefsteak, is already forming a little cluster of blossoms right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and pinch that off also. I really want this plant to focus on developing a strong root system before it's worrying about setting fruit. If you allow the plant to go ahead and start setting fruit, it will put all its energy into that and it won't have nearly as strong roots. Now I do that anyway. This particular tomato grow off competition is for the overall amount of weight of fruit off of this plant, as well as the... Yeah, you can put it in. Hold on one second. Get an egg. Hold on to that. As well as the largest tomato off of the plant. So for me, I really want this plant to focus on roots first, so when it starts producing fruit, it can actually really make some good, strong fruit. And again, I'm planting really deep, and this plant's not super tall. The triple crop is a little taller, so we'll go even deeper with it. Okay, throw it in there, egg. Let's just crack it real quick, just a little bit. Okay, go ahead. Let's cover it up. You want this? Does this mean that if I win, I have to share my victory with Benjamin? Are we gonna win?
Yeah.
Now here next to this, I'm gonna do my choice plant. Now we're all doing the red beefsteak, and then we each get to choose a second variety of our choice to compete with the largest tomato, and I chose the climbing triple crop. This is the variety which gave me my 2 largest tomatoes last year, which were both right at 2 pounds, and so I'm feeling pretty good about the climbing triple crop. This plant is quite a bit taller than the other one, and so I'm going to dig even deeper because I want to put most of my plant underground. Throw the egg in. Little crack in it, and I'm gonna break these off and go all the way down in. My competition tomato plants. Grow babies grow. Look who's here.
Hello.
There's Andrea.
And her employee.
Lane, her right-hand man, I'm sure. These are our friends from VW Family Farm. If you've watched us for very long at all, you are, I'm sure, familiar with them. They're actually here to pick up some goats, which I'll tell you guys about that up here. Okay. Ben, do you have your best friend?
Where is she? Where is she?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Emily.
Emily.
How happy he is. He loves his best friend Emily. He talks about her all the time. Hey, what you got?
Gabe.
Hey, Gabe. We have hinted a bit about some new animals coming to the farm, and I'm still not ready to tell you what those animals are yet. However, I will tell you that because they're coming, we have decided to pare down a little bit on our goat herd. So we actually are sending one of our does, Suki, with her new doeling with the Vincents to VW Family Farm. We're sending our 2 new bottle babies to some good friends of ours. They'll be here next weekend, and you guys be familiar with them too, I believe. A couple of our other does are actually going to another family friend of mine in Oklahoma, and a couple of our other boys are going to my friend Jessica from Baker Creek. So we are really dispersing a good bit of our herd. What we will have left when we are done with this are our 9 does, our favorite does, and that's gonna be it for us right now. If we do decide to grow our goat herd later on, we are going to go with Lamanches because I really prefer their milk, and that's the direction I want to take this goat herd on, but we're not moving in that direction yet because we're really going to be focusing on that new animal that will be here soon. Sookie girl, you ready? You ready to go? Look at that boy garden gate. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Our friends just left with their new goats. I'm going to put the camera down and finish planting my tomatoes and get as much as I can in this garden in the next few hours. I would say I have about 35% planted and a lot left to go. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. God bless you. Until next time.